Okay. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, people? People, it's yours truly, Mr. B. Thank you very much for joining me on the Intercourse Show. Let me make sure I'm right now. Let me make sure we tight, we right. Let's get it popping. Okay. So today we are discussing the Sista Code, and we're going to do things a little differently today. Now, as you know, we do talk about relationships quite often when we're not talking about the news and other more serious topics. And one of the topics that came up has been this Megan Thee Stallion conversation. Apparently, Megan Thee Stallion is what some would call, I guess, some would call her a superstar, pop star, rap artist. Others would call her a 304. And she, hit the jackpot and somehow landed Klay Thompson, a 4-time winning NBA champion who's pretty low key. Now, Klay Thompson's a man who's kind of got a diverse background. His father was a black former NBA player, and his mother is a white lady. Now, the thing about Klay Thompson is that he doesn't seem like the type that would typically choose a Megan Thee Stallion, but he is an athlete, and athletes have a lot of women, in their sphere of influence. So somehow, some way, the two linked up and was in a public relationship. Now, Klay Thompson just recently broke it off with Megan. I guess he did not want to acquiesce. Some say that she was demanding a girlfriend tax. I can't even say the word. A girlfriend tax of about $700,000 a month just to maintain her expenses. And Klay was like, nah, I'm not doing that. So he went back to working his rotation, and Megan got mad. She started talking that talk and publicizing their relationship in the internet. And now it become the mainstream topic that a lot of people discuss. And one of the few people who's been discussing this conversation has been the crew at It Is What It Is. That's with Cam, Mase. And in this discussion, they also had a former NFL player on there as well to weigh in. Now, throughout the conversation, the men who are older than this young lady named Stack, who was a co-host on the show, were trying to explain to the young lady Stack that a woman like Megan Thee Stallion should never expect to be chose as a wife to a man. And the reason why is because most men don't want 304s as a wife. Most men don't want a woman who's been passed around in the industry. They don't want to walk in claiming that this is their person. This is the person they're going to put their last name on. So as they try to explain this to her, you can see she pushes back and she refuses to accept the reality of what they're saying, even though these are all wealthy men who generally would be the ideal type of high-value men that a lot of women would go for. Yet, despite what they're saying, she doesn't want to accept it. That being said, I think the clip tells the story better than I can ever. So I'm going to go ahead and play the clip, and then we'll react accordingly. All right, let's get right into it.
In my humble opinion,
he was introducing her as a celebrity.
I don't think so. I just think feelings change, and that happens in people's relationships, and that's fine.
I think
there's a problem. I just think there's a problem when cheating is involved. If you just
I
want
was
to move
just
on,
trolling you.
I don't care. Move on. That's
I was just
life.
trolling you.
No, you're not though. You're not. You're actually not trolling. I'm just saying, like, if you want to move on, that's cool. You just don't cheat.
I'll say something before we go.
Go ahead.
So 2 things. One, this was payback for you not skipping the show when Cam was getting on me. Pause. You don't need this went all the way over your head.
Not skipping. When do I don't
remember they was joking on me. I was like, yo, change the subject.
Oh,
yeah, this
commercial
is my
breaks.
Yeah, this is my get back. Right?
That's fine. I can take it. Right.
Stat. No, this is really a clarity moment. It's for women to know if you're out there and you got like 6 or 7 public relationships, no real guy up there making hundreds of millions.
No,
it's gonna be an anomaly that he picks you to be his wife, knowing that everybody else then enjoyed it. It's just that's not what great.
Look, you get one a generation. You got Russell Wilson. That's it.
Yeah, that's an anomaly.
That's it.
So I had a real estate agent reach out to me. 8 years in the business, good referral network, and she had her best year 2.
You got Russell. That's it.
I don't know.
And it's good that we're giving this game, you know, because you're talking with 3 guys from, you know, from different walks of life that all are telling you the same thing. Even at different spaces right now in our lives, we're all telling you the same thing. So a woman thinks, yeah, I'm looking fine. I'm looking better than I looked before. But I don't want to walk in with 9 guys.
No.
That all had this experience. It's not a trophy, is like Arabia said, is to be passed around. But a treasure.
Arabia made a good ass point. Yeah, she killed that. Trophy everybody sees. You bury your treasure and you keep it out of everybody's business.
Shout out to Arabia.
Yeah, shout out to Arabia.
That statement.
I'll just say,
because
every time I make a take, she's naive. I hear you guys, and I know that this is how most men think. That is clear. That is, I got it. We know this.
So why do you not take it?
That doesn't mean I have to be like, oh yeah, everybody's right. Like, I still feel like there is hope for certain people in certain situations. Unfortunately, this situation did not work for her. I wish it went a different direction because from what we've seen, it looked great, but that's not going to be the case for everybody. I do think one day even Kim Kardashian can get married again if that's what she chooses to want. That's fine.
One clarity question before we go. Killer, you mind one clarity question I want to ask?
All right, go ahead. This is great. This is actually great.
I want to ask you one clarity question. If the type of guys you like, right, are telling you what they're in the market for, how do you disregard what they're telling you they're in the market for?
You can't disregard what the guy that you want is telling you what he wants.
Oh, okay. All right. That's it.
Yeah.
You can't.
And you
if
also,
that's what you want. You can't disregard what that man says that he wants.
Yeah. And you also, I remember what it was, Andrea said, how you can erase your whole past. You can't erase your whole past.
That's not true at all. Like, you can't erase your past. I agree. You cannot erase your past.
Okay, yeah.
That's there. No, I'm saying I agree. Yeah, you can't just be like, all right, this never happened. People are going to, unfortunately, that's part of your story forever.
Yeah, and I'm not calling Meg a hoe, but I'm calling how people perceive things when you get publicly passed around. These things that you do, in America, you have to hold yourself accountable for things that you've done.
Yeah.
He just called her a hoe, pretty much. I mean, he's saying, I'm not calling her a hoe, but I'm saying this is how people perceive things when you get publicly passed around. If you getting publicly passed around, miss, you're not exactly virtuous.
And from that, people will shape their opinion, how they shape their opinion. And I think that's more or less what we're saying.
Well, that's life. Perception is everything, whether it's true or whether it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's fair.
Yeah, we could agree to that.
I'm not saying that's why I'm like, I understand what you guys are saying, but I'm also saying I don't think that's necessarily fair because there's some people on the opposite end who can do whatever they want and date whoever they want, and they're still going to get whatever they want in this life.
Yeah, but I'm also.
I think so. I think so.
I just want to be clear. I don't mean any of what I've said towards Drea, whoever, with any sort of malice. I'm just talking about behavior, right? And I'm also saying that you can't just move through life, having sex with everybody and think that somebody's not going to think that you're a hoe and still think that you won't be like your behavior won't be criticized accordingly.
Yeah, you're public.
And not only that, Mo, you just made a great point, right? Just because, and that's another thing. It's like I just related before I get to my point. I related to shows, right? So I'll tell people, and Mase knows this as well. Like when you get booked for a show, and a promoter, I'll use some real low numbers so niggas feel more comfortable, rappers at home. If a promoter books you for $5,000 and then you go to
in bottles.
Yeah, and bottles with the sparkles on it, so you feel like you're killing it. I tell them, do not bring no sparklers the fuck over here, man. With all my bottles. But anyway, if a promoter books you for $5,000 in New Jersey, then you try and go do a show in Philadelphia, and you be like, yo, I want $10,000. All these promoters are in the promoting business. So that promoter in what I said, Philadelphia is going to call the promoter in Jersey, like, yo, you going to give him $10,000? Like, nigga, I gave that nigga $5,000. What you talking about? Give him $10,000. You better tell that nigga you got $5,500 for travel. So they all talk. So just yesterday when we talked about this topic for a few minutes, we named about 5 or 6 people that I named that were known. And if you think that you're going to do something with an athlete or entertainer and they're not going to talk to each other, you're going to be talked about. We just talked about the people we knew. Yeah. It's a whole community of people that we don't know that be like, yo, you know I hit that, right? Yo, you know I hit that, right? Then when you walk in a room and you in a room with 2, 3 niggas, they be like, yo, you know I hit that, right? We just talked about the people that we know about. Nice. So your name is getting tossed around anyway. When you think about, let's just say you're Klay Thompson, right? And you be like, yo, little nigga from Toronto hit it too. I ain't want to say nothing. Nah, the 11th man off the bench, he's hit it too. Word? Get the fuck out of here. yeah, nigga, before that, she was in New Orleans. You're going to be talked about whether it's public or not public. Once you start fucking with entertainers, athletes, your name gets passed around, and then it becomes a stat for them just to hit it. We talk about this all the time with Mase and myself, when we be like, when we even say we don't get it, we be like, yo, why nigga want to have nigga leftovers? We done been leftovers about 9, 10 times since we started this show. But some niggas don't care. It'd be like, yo, I sniped them.
What he's saying is a very valid point. Like a lot of what gets pushed out in in the airwaves is more that it's okay to live this promiscuous lifestyle if you're a young lady. It isn't okay. Like it really isn't okay. There is not very many men who says, I want to get the most promiscuous woman who's been passed around the industry or passed around my community or passed around my circle to be my girlfriend. It's not appealing for a lot of men. And so these are prominent men who's been in the spotlight, who's had access to a lot of women, and they're outright saying, it's not cool to be the girl that's too mixy. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times you're seeing women trying to defend this position of promiscuity, right? A person who's moving around like they're a loose goose is not an appealing thing for any men. And even though they're expressively explaining this, the sister code keep kicking in. Shorty has to protect her. She has to protect her because she feels that Megan Thee Stallion's aspirational for a lot of women, especially the ones on the other side of the track. And they feel like they can live this out loud lifestyle where they're just being 304s and building a reputation of being the pass around girl and thinking that some guy who's accomplished something, especially a person of high value, is going to want to settle down with that. He's now got to contend with your reputation of being a loose goose. And why would he want to do that? No one wants to do that. So, you know, and I speak as a person, I got sisters, I got daughters. Obviously, this isn't to disrespect or to chop my sisters down. That's not what this is about. But this is really to speak the truth in love and to tell you going down a path of being the fast girl who's on the scene, who's using your body to get ahead is not the way to go. And when it goes this way, and now it's brought to the public sphere and men have to discuss it, your reputation will come to surface. And that's going to be what men know you. So it's hard for any man, any serious man, to be sympathetic to Megan Thee Stallion, especially if she's had a reputation where she's been, you know, very loose. They say you give her a little Henny and she's with it. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but clearly these are insiders who have conversation with people in the industry and she's got a reputation. And it doesn't help that she's, brought Tory Lane's career to a screeching halt, in part due to the messy way that she was moving around. So this is game they're giving to a lot of young ladies out here. If you're still young in the game and you have role models that you can follow, following a Megan Thee Stallion isn't the role model that I think you should set for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you got to start looking at being more virtuous and carrying yourself in a manner that is praiseworthy, not in a manner where men are going to talk about you like this. And unfortunately, this is the talk. This is where her reputation has brought her out as a result. And you have a lot of ladies out there who are big fans of hers defending the behavior, when in actuality, it's not sexy. You know what I'm saying? It's not sexy at all.
Yeah, I caught that. And then it's one of them situations where now you're talked about, and niggas, and you probably don't even know that you're talked about, because you're like, they're not gonna blow up the spot. They're gonna blow up the spot. So when we're talking about the niggas that we named on the list yesterday, think about the people that hit Clay like, man, little Tootie in Baton Rouge. He caught her. He caught her too.
On a drunk night.
You don't know. on a drunk night.
He's driving the boat.
All that, man. So that's just the people we don't know. So
that's the respectful group. That's the respectful group. We're not even talking about the guys that's gonna be disrespectful. That's gonna be like, yo, that ain't wifey, is it? Like right there with you. And we know this because that's why we don't do it, Stat, because we don't want to walk in with somebody and our peers and people we respect say, yo, is that wifey?
Nah,
that's wifey.
You hear what's going on, Stat?
I'm around y'all every day. I already know what's going on. I already know what's going on.
Then you want to beat up everybody. Come on, you can't beat up everybody. Because she throwing herself a party. You can't do that.
Listen,
Stat plaited her hair
She
now.
want to throw her body a party. You can't do that.
Yeah. Shout out though, real quick, man. I'm gonna give a shout to my homegirl, True Asia from Harlem, from the East Side. See, I like females who straight out, right? She told me before, she like, yo.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
This bitch gonna come up to me talking about, yo, I used to fuck him, right? And she says, so what? My turn, nigga. I want to see what it's about. You gotta respect that, because if you know, you don't feel like the last person in the room who know. Like, that's my thing. See, Mo and Mase is married. You know what I'm saying? So when I get with a female, I like, yo, did you ever bone a rapper? Did you bone a athlete? Did you? Because now, if you're the last person in the room to know, you look even more stupid.
No, yes.
So when somebody comes clean and tell you, at least if you walk in a room and then you cool. It's like, for instance, one time, this is just dead ass. We did a preview. Paul Pierce was coming on our show one time, and I don't even mess with this girl no more. We're still friends, and she like, yo, I just want to call and tell you, she's from Chicago, a friend of mine. Yo, I used to date Paul. I'm just telling you now, I want to give you that respect, because I don't know if y'all girls will come up this, that, and the third. And I doubt we would have talked about it. I ain't messed with this girl in over 10 years. But she gave me the respect to call and tell me that she used to mess with Paul Pierce. Now, if it do come up, I'll be like, nigga, I know. Fuck is you talking about? You left titty, right? Suck it, you crazy. Yeah, like, you hit them with all that. Turner. See, you already can combat that if it comes your way. You know what I mean? So just giving a little more context to the conversation.
Do you think any different now, Stat, hearing us speak? Or
The thing is, I'm not surprised. Like, okay. I already know where y'all's head is going, where the conversation is going. I already know.
Oh, okay.
But that doesn't mean that I have to be like, yep, da 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 da. Like I still I understand both sides. That's what I'll say.
But do you agree with both sides?
There is truth to both sides.
My thing is this.
That's a political
Hold
answer.
on real quick. The whole thing about it is this, yo. As far as Mase and Mo is concerned, we're past the point of trying to convince that. What you Mase and what you Mo need to realize is that it doesn't matter what we say. It's not about that. We passed that, all right? It doesn't matter what we say. It's already embedded. And I'm not talking about stat. Females. This is the way it goes. Whatever. We said he fumbled, nigga. That's that. And I'm not talking about you, Stan. I'm just saying in general, people gonna have their opinions, and that's what's dope about having an opinion. You don't have to agree with anybody. It's just your opinion.
And it is. That's why I totally understand where y'all are coming from, but I'm gonna think what I think, and y'all are gonna think what you think.
Go down the hill.
Yeah, she gonna just.
But also, that's not my life. That is not my life. We're talking about somebody else's relationship, and
I'm gonna get you.
We all handle things.
Before I leave, I'm gonna get you to quit. So you ride the fence with these political answers, right?
Yeah.
So I just need you to start to commit to one answer.
The thing about me
I asked, do you agree?
I see both. I'm just such an open-minded person.
Nah.
So I understand what y'all are saying. It's like in a man's mentality, you're like, why would I want to go talk to this girl if I know she was with this person, did this, talks about this? That's not my wifey. Cool. I got it. But at the same time, if she wants to be liberated and open, and that's the type of person that she is, and you decided to go date her knowing that that's what she brought to the table, why are you shocked by anything else that comes with it? Like, you knew when you signed up.
Nah, he's not shocked. He's just saying he don't want to keep it. He just want to drive it like everybody else drove it and give it back.
Then you
like
can say at the jump, look, I don't want to do all that lovey-dovey stuff. We don't even got to be a real thing for real. I just want to mess with you. You don't even got to say that. If you're trying to trick somebody, I guess go ahead and say what you got to say. But
you know what's going to come out?
You don't do all the other things that come with it.
No.
Okay. That was hard to hear for a lot of people. What he's saying is a lot of times, this is men's culture. Obviously, this is a secret to nobody. See, when you build yourself a reputation of being the fast girl, right? Dudes might be curious, and they might want to take it out for a spin, but nobody is wifing that. That's what they're essentially trying to say. No one is signing up to wife up a woman who doesn't have any, what's the word? Sense of self-worth to understand that her body is not to be used around by multiple men. A woman who don't care about catching a lot of bodies with a lot of different men is, in a way, is not appealing in terms of what men look for in wives. And Stat is very young, and you could tell she's raised in an era where young ladies are taught to believe about girl empowerment and, the whole, you're not supposed to slut shame, and they're supposed to be able to do whatever they want to do with their bodies, and their body, their choice, they can do whatever they want. And so when these older men, who possibly could even be her father, is giving her the game and saying, don't aspire to be like this woman, you know what I mean? Like, don't aspire to be like the type of woman who's being used and passed around in the industry and builds a reputation for herself where she's viewed as someone that no one should take serious, but someone may experience. And they're literally giving her the locker room talk, essentially, how dudes talk behind the scenes, like, yeah, I got that. The dude on the bench, yeah, I got that. All these guys will say, yeah, I got that. Simply because, it's a thing to do, something to cross off the list so they can say they did it. But nobody wants to lock in with that. It's just not what's on the agenda, right? So now when they make it seem like Klay Thompson did her so dirty by walking away from that, all these men are saying that was expected. Of course that was expected, because he understood what her reputation was and that she didn't really have what men would look for in terms of wife qualities. That's really the harsh truth, right? A man wants a woman that represents him well. If he's walking in the room with a girl that everybody in the room may have had, why would he feel proud to call that his wife? That's what he's trying to explain. And it doesn't seem like she's getting it. And they're trying to lay it all out for her because she's little sis to them. You know what I mean? They're trying to give it a game and say, listen, don't be that. You know what I mean? Don't be the girl who's the loose goose out the crew. Don't be that. Aspire to be more than the loose goose. You know what I'm saying? But Stat's fighting it with all her might for the sister code.
You know it's going to come out. I guarantee this was her PR move. You know she ain't been having good PR.
She has.
No.
She has not for a period, but recently her PR has been. Her PR team has been working over.
But I think she got with the Splash brother to get good PR, and you with the 6'7" light-skinned dude with good hair, and you about to praise like you in a relationship to try to get out of all that other mess you was doing. I think it was PR.
I don't think a public relationship breakup is good PR, but to some people, I'm
talking about the getting with Klay Thompson. I think
that was supposed to clean her up.
Yeah, I just, to me,
because he was such a
correct.
He wasn't a bad boy. He was a clean guy.
You know why everybody was surprised? Everybody was surprised to see Klay even on the internet like that. Mm-hmm. That's not his personality. He been the same dude over in Golden State with Steph for all those years. Then when he went to Dallas and he's on the backside of his career and he stepped out and did this is almost like as shocking as seeing Eric Benet on the internet. Mm-hmm. And you see him speak and you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You get where I'm coming from.
Her doing this may mess up potential clients, right? Because y'all be laughing. I'm serious about it. Because people are going to see this and say, dealing with you always ends messy. That could become a storyline too.
Also, some men don't care. Like we've seen like a Selena Powell who time after time still messes with I don't know. Okay. I don't know people's judgment. I don't know.
Let me give you another truth.
Okay.
Brown skin women do not get to do what those other women do. Somebody need to tell them that.
God bless. Have a good morning.
They don't treat them this.
There you go, Stack. Go ahead. You got a lot to say.
I don't have a lot to say.
I'm not saying that is right. I'm not saying it is fair or right because I know those are the two things you're saying. But me as a black man, I don't get to do everything other people do. I understand the chips are stacked against me. So I understand because I'm saying that from a real place. You know? So just like a young black woman, you won't get the same chance that Katy Perry gets or that Taylor Swift gets. So
that's a fact.
Act accordingly.
Sign. So I don't have any other things to add to that.
Or Caitlin Clark. You need more history.
There's always gonna be this. So
right?
Amen.
Is that true, Mo? Is that a lot? Because at first I know it sounded kind of crazy, but when you think of it in context.
No, I mean, being honest with you, I'm over here thinking to myself, like, this is the conversation can go in a ton of different places, but you're absolutely right. You don't get the same considerations. You don't get the same grace. You don't get the same forgiveness. That's why you made your point when you talked about Kim Kardashian, but you see who she identifies with. It's convenient to mess with black people and convenient, but then when I want to sell my brand, push my products, and be where I'm on at now, she's identifying more with her white crowd. And so that justifies the behavior. So,
and you can't do that unless you bleach your skin and wear blonde for the rest of your life.
Ain't that I don't know how we got here.
We're just giving you good games. You family, so we want you to win, Come out on top.
Just giving, don't date at all. Don't talk to anybody. Just be in your bubble and grind.
No. It's saying be accountable for your behavior.
The whole thing about this, right? The whole thing is this too, right? People say, "Oh, you fumbled this, that." Meg didn't have to tell nobody this happened. They could have both went off quietly into the sunset and said, "Oh, it didn't work out." But people want to use social media as their diary. Now nigga don't want to be monogamous after you got me playing Thanksgiving, this, that, there. And I'm not saying she's wrong. She could be 100% right. But why is that everybody's business? And then when people comment on what you're putting out there, we suckers. Nah, you told us this. you put this on Instagram. Got me playing house. Got me. People got to control their thumbs, yo.
This is a valid point. Too often you have grown people pretty much having their relationships online. This is another indicator that you could tell she wasn't ready for the moment, because even if you and him are not breaking up, there was absolutely no reason for her to have to air out their business online. There's this thing called privacy and protecting the nature of the relationship. If you really cared about that man, you wouldn't be trying to air him out in any way. Why? She only did that for the purpose of trying to make him skeptical, right? She wanted people to talk negatively about him. She wanted his reputation to be blemished, and she wanted to be the victim. And that's the problem. This is, again, a mindset thing. If you're a young man and you see a woman is moving like that, or even an older, more seasoned man, you see a woman is moving like that, you gotta already see that you don't qualify to be somebody's wife, because that means anytime there's a disagreement, she's airing you out for the sake of publicly airing you out, for the sake of making you look bad, for the sake of trying to keep you looking like the person who did her wrong. And the thing about this young lady is that she has a reputation of passing up sometimes good men to go be an extra in somebody's little fantasy, right? She's not exactly thinking clear. And I think this tactic that she used to play victim once again, this is probably just another way of getting people to talk about her and to put her in the algorithm. But that is something that needs to be evaluated. You know what I mean? And what Cam just said is very valid. Like, you don't just air your business out, right? A respectable lady would know, hey, you know, me and him, we kicked it for a little while and it didn't work out, but you know, it's all love. I have love and respect for the family, so I'm gonna keep our breakup on a humble, and I'm not gonna really try to make this guy look bad. And who knows, maybe he would have circled back around and said, look, you know, let's try again. But her doing that definitely put an exclamation point, a period behind that relationship. There's no way he doubling back to that, not for nothing serious. So she is just not the right examples to follow, and these men are trying to explain that to her. But that thinking, that modern woman thinking right now is combating this good information. She's refusing to accept the truth behind what they're saying. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is, guys.
You gotta control your thumbs. You sit there and think it, and then you say, "I'll put this out into the universe for people to hear," and then we comment on it, and then they be like, "Y'all should shut up." How we should shut up? You should not let us know this.
Right.
You could have quietly let us assume, how we haven't been seeing Clay and Meg together lately. Oh, why they not posting pictures? And then in 6-7 months, you could have just said it didn't work out.
Now, this is why we built our deal calculator, trusted and used by over 20,000 investors to instantly analyze, flip, and
okay, that's the show. Let me know what you guys think. Obviously, they had their opinions about this. We invite your conversation. We invite your opinion, and we want to hear your vantage point, your point of view. Maybe I'm going to get, criticized for taking a critical position, but I just feel like sometimes our ladies are not being represented in the right light. We have beautiful Black women out there who deserve to be viewed respectably, who deserve to be held in high regard. And I think sometimes we put the wrong women in positions of spotlight as the examples for other younger women to follow. And so this is not the way that I would want my daughters to be portrayed in the public light. I wouldn't want to hear men talking about my daughters in that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's a pass around in the industry. And unfortunately, I don't know Megan's background, but somebody's got to be advising her to say, yo, you got to move a little differently, because you got this reputation, and it's not lending to how you want people to perceive you. And when you're seeking sympathy from people and they don't give it to you, your reputation has a part to play in it. That's just the harsh truth. You know what I mean? It's not to knock people down. That's not what my heart's about. It's just to say, like, look, you know, you got to straighten up and move differently, because this isn't the type of way that you would want anybody's daughter to be talked about. So, you know, these guys are, you know, they're celebrities. They've been at this for some time, and they're also fathers. So you gotta hear it, not with the ear to get offense or to take offense, but you should hear it with the ear of trying to be constructive, to say, ladies, move different. Don't let nobody talk about you in a negative light where you're viewed as some chick that gets passed around. You know what I mean? Move accordingly. Move like you are a child of the Most High God, and make sure you carry yourself like you want people to perceive you. If you want to be perceived as a wife, as something that is a catch, as something that somebody fumbled, don't be regarded as the girl that's getting passed around that everybody done had. Then nobody fumbles you. They literally passed you to the next person. They handed you off. And that's the problem. You don't want to be handed off, right? When you find the right man who's making the money, you don't want to be handed off. And another thing, I have to say, I do believe that there are some rumors that she said to Klay Thompson that she needed to get in a monthly allowance. I think she tried him like that. I think she definitely tried him like that, and thought that because he was maybe, you know, more of a polished guy, not as, you know, some would perceive, that he was gonna, you know, go along with that little extortion thing. He was like, nah, that's a dub. I actually 100% believe she tried that. And Klay was like, nah, I'm not doing that. Anyways, that's my views, ladies. Thank you very much for everybody who tuned in to watch this show. I ask that you like and subscribe, stay connected to the conversations we are having, but also lend your voice to the conversation. Comment, let me know. Did I miss it? Did I catch it right? Is there something I missed? Do you have a perspective that can enlighten us, that may even enlighten me? Shout out to the It Is What It Is crew for their segment. You know, it's a trending topic, and I don't generally, you know, delve into people relationships like that, but you know, there are some lessons that can be picked up here, so I weighed in. And I thank you guys again for joining me. All right, guys, until we speak again, God bless you.